How we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and today I'm gonna be making a tier list, of course, as you can see by the fucking format of the video. I'm gonna be ranking every pay-per-view from UFC 297 Strickland versus Duplessis, all the way up to UFC 317 that just wrapped up last weekend, Topuria versus Oliveira. Um, I'm gonna be picking at random. How am I going to be ranking these pay-per-views, you may ask? I'm going to be ranking these by how entertained I was, me, UFC Thoughts, how much the pay-per-view entertained me, and how good the actual pay-per-view main card was, and how the prelims were. So basically, how entertaining was the pay-per-view? You know what I mean? I'm not going to be ranking based on name value, because I think that's kind of stupid. I'm going to be ranking based on how actually entertaining the pay-per-view was, because there are some pay-per-views on here where the name value was good and the pay-per-view was shit. There's some pay-per-views on here where the name value wasn't as good and the pay-per-view main card was fucking sick. So let's just jump right into it. The first pay-per-view I am going to grab is UFC 299. Now, this is an example of a pay-per-view with good name value that was actually entertaining. I'm just going to fucking let me get on Tapology. I can name the entire main card without using Tapology, by the way. Let me fucking click so you can see my cursor so I'm not looking anything up. And I'm not typing. Fucking Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera, co-main event, Benoit Saint-Denis versus Dustin Poirier, Michael Venom Page, Kevin Holland, Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena, and in the main card opener was fucking Yan versus Song Yadong. The prelims on there were also really good. I know that fucking what's his face. I know that Kyler Phillips fought Pedro Munoz and that Caitlin Sermonara fought Macy Barber. Curtis Blades, Jailton Almeida, Macy Barber, Caitlin Sermonara, Mateusz Gamrot, RDA, Kyler Phillips, Pedro Munoz, Michelle Pahea, Michal Oleksiejczuk, Robelis Despain's debut, which he knocked the guy out, Asu Almabayev, CJ Vergara, Joanne Joanne Wood, Marina Moroz, and Felipe Leans versus Ian Cutelaba. It was a certified hood classic. Now, there weren't like a crazy amount of finishes on this card. I think there was only about 4. Right? 1, 2, maybe there was 5. 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 finishes on 14 fights. So I know what you're saying. Well, how is that entertaining? Dude, all these fights, most of them actually had moments. Like, I will say the worst fight on the entire card was probably Felipe Leans versus Ian Cutelaba. Nothing really happened. Michelle Pahea dusted Michal Oleksiejczuk. Robelis had a really good performance. Asu Almabayev basically dominated CJ Vergara. That was kind of an iffy fight. Joanne Wood versus Marina Moroz. Joanne almost finished her in the 3rd round. Mateusz Gamrot, RDA, that had a lot of crazy shit early on. Macy Barber, Caitlin Sermonara was alright. Curtis Blades beating Jailton Almeida. The whole world rejoiced. I didn't. I was sad. Piotr Jan, Song Yadong was a banger. Jack Della Maddalena, Gilbert Burns was a banger, even though Gilbert Burns was kind of smudging it midway through. Michael Venom Page, Kevin Holland, the most entertaining Michael Venom Page fight in the UFC so far, because Kevin Holland was actually, like, in boxing range or trying to win the fight, you know what I mean? Dustin Poirier, Benoit Saint-Denis, crazy. Sean O'Malley beat the shit out of Chito Vera. This really was just a pay-per-view where the name value wasn't just name value, and it actually was good to watch. You know what I mean? It was actually, like, good to watch. Let's move to another pay-per-view. Let's move to UFC. Let me just close my eyes and grab something. UFC 304. Let me look up this pay-per-view. I feel like I could name the entire main card. Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. The feature fight was Patty versus Bobby. Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze, and then Gregory Rodriguez, Christian Leroy Duncan, I'm pretty sure opened it up. But what were those prelims? I know Nathaniel Wood was on there against Daniel Pineda. Bilal Muhammad, Leon Edwards, Tom Aspinall, Patty Pimblett, Gregory Rodriguez. Arnold Allen actually opened up the pay-per-view, okay. Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda, Bruno Brazil, Molly McCann, Jake Hadley, Kalen Loughran, Muhammad Makhayev, Sean O'Bannon, Alice Ardeleon, Mick Parkin, Lucas Dresky, Sam Patterson, Kiefer Crosby, Modestus Bukauskas, Marcin Pragniel. Alright, what am I going to rate UFC 314? Or 304, excuse me. It'll probably stay where it's at, maybe lower. UFC 304 is strange, because it did have some really cool highlights, i.e. Tom Aspinall knocking out Curtis Blades. Even Bilal Muhammad, like, slamming Leon Edwards on top of his head was cool. Paddy Pimblett getting the quick finish over Bobby Green. Arnold Allen Giga Chikadze was pretty sick. Gregory Rodriguez, Christian Leroy Duncan wasn't as sick because Gregory Rodriguez didn't really, like, face any, like Christian kind of got dominated in that fight, so it wasn't as fun as I thought it'd be. Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda was pretty sick. Just Daniel Pineda getting fucked up, but he won the third round. Bruno Brazil over Molly McCann. She beat the shit out of Molly. Jake Hadley, Kalen Loughran. That fight was pretty shit. Mohamed Wakayev, Manel Kopp. That was pretty shit. Oban Elliott, Preston Parsons was alright. Modestus, March Pragniel, one of the best fights on the card. Just entertainment-wise, Sam Patterson, Kiefer Crosby, Sam Patterson, quick finish. Mick Parkin, Lucas Dresky, quick finish. Sean O'Bannon, Alice Ardeleon was, like, mid. For 14 fights, and the fact that the main event was... I think it really depends on how the main event played out. I wasn't a huge fan of the Bilal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards fight for the most part, I'll be honest. Because it was mostly grappling, let's be honest. And I try to be a hardcore as much as possible. Let's be honest, we all love seeing striking more than grappling. So I'm going to put 304. I'll put it in mid. I will put it in mid because I think there are some moments on this card that salvaged it. There were quite a few quick finishes on this card. Mick Parkin, first round KO. Sam Patterson, first round submission. There was another first rounder on here. Wasn't there? Yeah, there was Tom Aspinall and Paddy Pimblett both got first round finishes. In some of the fights I went to decision, like Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze were pretty nice. There was a lot of dominant like finishes on here though, but it was an alright card. It was a decent card. The main event would be like alright for real or Apex, but like there were some good finishes on there, so I'll put it in mid. Let's move to another pay-per-view, which we won't grab. Let me close my eyes. What did I grab? UFC 311. I'll put it in. That's a placeholder. It's not how I feel about the card. Main card of 311, could I name that? I probably should be able to. Islam versus Moicano. Merab versus Umar. Yuri versus Jamal. Fuck, why can't I name the rest of the main card? It was sick. Why did my brain just fart? What were the two other fights? Oh, Jailton Almeida, Sergey Spivak, and Rene de Ridder, Kevin Holland. My brain, because Jailton Almeida, Sergey Spivak was originally on the prelims. This card was pretty sick, I'll be honest. This card was pretty nice. Tagiro Mbekov, Clayton Carpenter, that was a pretty good scrap. Bernardo Sopai, Ricky Torrecios was a pretty good scrap. Muin Gafurov, Rini Nakamura. It was alright. Muin kind of dominated. Eileen Perez, Carol Hosa was an alright scrap for WMMA. Grant Dawson, Diego Ferreira. Cool performance from Grant Dawson. Not the most entertaining to watch. Bogdan Guskov, Billy Alicana, pretty sick. Decently quick finish. Azma Bekoev, Zachary, quick finish. Haney Barcelos, fraud checking. Not a fraud check. Peyton Talbot. Wild to see Peyton Talbot lose. It was a pretty good fight. Rene de Ridder, quick finish over Kevin Holland. Jonathan made a quick finish over Sergey Spivak. Yuri Prohaska, Jamal Hill go to war. Murad Dvalishvili, Umar Nurmagomedov, one of the best fights of the year. Islam versus Hanato. I'm going to put it 311 as a certified hood classic. It's a little bit less than UFC 299 because actually maybe it's higher. I think 311 had less low points, but it didn't have as many fights. It had one less fight. But to be fair, the main event, like Islam and Hanato, like that was just like, you know what I mean? we knew it was gonna happen. So there was a lot of, like, the main card was, actually, I might put it above, because I think the main card of UFC 311 was better overall. And the prelims on 311, there were more, like, holy shit moments. Like, Peyton losing to Hayoni as a minus 1100 favorite was crazy. Same with Rinya Nakamura. Rinya was like a minus 600. Asma Bekoev's debut. Bogdan Guskov beating Bailey Alicana. Eileen Perez-Carol Hosta was a decent scrap. Eileen was a plus 205? That makes no sense. No way she was a plus 205. No fucking way. Bernardo Sapai, Ricky Tercios was a banger. And Tigger Lembeco, Clinton Carpenter was alright. So, I think 311 is a certified hood classic. I'll put it above 299. Let's move. Let's grab another one here. UFC 298. Put in really solid. I can name the entire main card of this as well. Volkanovski, Topuria. Well, I didn't name the last one, but Topuria, Volkanovski, Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa, Ian Gary, Jeff Neal, fucking Henry Cejudo, Merab, and then Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. But let's see the prelims to it, because that main card was all right, pretty good. I know that Danny Barlow was on the prelims here. Miranda Maverick, Andrea Lee was all right. Oban Elliott, Val Woodburn was like cool in the first round. Second and third round pretty boring. Danny Barlow beat the snot out of Josh Quinlan. Quick finish for Ming Yang Zhang. Rini Nakamura, Carlos Vera was shit. Even though I love Rini Nakamura, that was a shit fight. Marcos beat the hell out of Junior Tafa. Amanda Lemos, Mackenzie Dern was like all right. That got fight of the night. Really? I don't think it deserved that. Hernandez, Roman Kopylov, cool fight. Merab Dvalishvili, Henry Cejudo. Insane to see Henry Cejudo get ragdolled like that. Ian Gary, Jeff Neal was pretty mid. Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa was sick. Ilya, of course, beating. I'm going to keep it where it's at. I'm going to keep it in really solid. Main event was sad to watch. Especially considering that I picked Volkanovski, which was that pick, and I hate it every single time that I look back on it. Whittaker, Costa went to war. Ian Gary, Jeff Neal was pretty bad because it was pretty like uneventful, but you had Merab and Cejudo on there and Anthony Hernandez, Roman Kopylov to kind of like, overlap that. Lemos Dern as a featured prelim, that's actually like cool because regularly that would be on a pay-per-view. Jerry DeLima beat the shit out of Junior Tafa. Ming Yang Zhang quick finish. Danny Barlow masterclass. And then their other fights were just alright. There was a lot of, solid fights. It was a solid card. Let me grab something else here. UFC 305. Let me put it there. I can probably name the entire main card of this. Dreykus versus Izzy. Kai versus Steve Erceg. Carlos Prates, Li Jing Liang. Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Tai Tuivasa. And then, what was the other fight on that main card? I literally was just thinking about it. Why did it leave me? I forgot what the other main card fight was, but... Oh yeah, Dan Hooker, Gamrot. The best fight on the fucking card, basically. Walter Walker Jr., Tafa, Ricardo Ramos, Josh Kulabau. That fight pissed me off. Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos was pretty shit. Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns was alright. Tom Nolan, Alex Reyes was alright. Kanan Song, Ricky Glenn was alright. Jesus Aguilar, Stuart Nickel, quick finish. I'm probably gonna keep it where it is. I don't know, though. It's definitely above 304. Like, I would put it above 304 for sure. Just because Duplessis Israel was sick. Great fight. Kai Kara France got a quick finish. So that kind of is like the same as Curtis. Dan Hooker, Mateusz Gamrot went to fucking war. And Prates got a fucking finish over Li Jing Liang, which is kind of crazy. And Jairzinho and Tai was like an alright fight. You know what I mean? So this main card was pretty sick. And the prelims, the feature prelim, Walter Walker getting a quick finish heel hook over Junior Tafa. Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns, he beat Herbert Burns. The prelims on 305 were actually worse than the main card. which I can't say the same about 312, the other Australia card on here. That is the only other Australia card, right? I think so. The prelims kind of drag it down. I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to put it in really solid. Just because I think the main card was sick. And I actually had a good time watching the main card. I'm going to keep it in mid, though. Because I think that overall, the prelims of 305 drag it down so much. Because I kind of want to base this off of whether or not I'd rewatch this. I don't think I'd rewatch 305. Like, in its entirety. Just because I don't think I could sit through the prelims again. Because sitting through Ricardo Ramos, Josh Kulabau, especially after that, what was it, the first or second round where Josh Kulabau was stupid, I would lose my mind. Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos was a sparring match. Tom Nolan, Alex Reyes felt like a sparring match. Kanan Song, Ricky Glenn was just two old heads battling it out. And Jesus Aguilar, Stuart Nickel, great quick finish. And then same with Walter Walker. But there's all this like shit in between. And Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns, that was like it was a good performance from Jack Jenkins, but like it took him to round 3 to finish him. You know what I mean? I don't think I could sift through 10 minutes of Herbert Burns. 10 minutes and 48 seconds to be exact. I'll put it in mid. I'll put 305 in the mid card. We move to UFC 310. Can I name that main card? Pantoja Kai, Shavkat, Ian Gary. What was the featured fight on there? I know Nate Landwehr versus Doo-Ho Choi was on there, and Bryce Mitchell versus Crone Gracie was on there. What was the other main card fight? Because that could really determine. Why can't I think of it? It was the featured fight, I know that. Oh yeah, Gan Volkov. That's what it was. It was Gan and Volkov. Reyes and Anthony Smith, Luque Temagarimbo, Evloyev Sterling, Battle Brown, Anders Weidman, Van. Low key, 310 was actually really solid. 14 fights. I'm gonna put it above these for right now. Just because I think the prelims were actually really solid on 310. Nizichukwu getting a quick finish over Lucas Tresky. Chase Hooper beat the snot out of Clay Guida in 3 minutes. Michael Chiesa actually had a somewhat entertaining fight against Max Griffin, which is something we can't always ask for. Joshua Van beat Cody Durden. That was a crazy fight. I love that fight. Eric Anders, Chris Weidman, kind of a shitty performance from Chris Weidman, but got a finish. Eric Anders. Brian Battle, Randy Brown. Arguable robbery, but it was all right. Movsar Evloev, Aljamain Sterling. One of the only more entertaining grappling fests in the UFC because they were actually doing cool shit. Luque Temagarimbo, quick finish for Luque. We love seeing that shit. Dominic Reyes, Anthony Smith, that was just a fucking beatdown. Doo-Ho Choi, Nate Landwehr, again, a beatdown. Bryce Mitchell, Crone Gracie, pretty shit until the finish. Cyril Gan Volkov was all right. It's actually pretty mid. Shavkat Ian Gary was pretty mid. Be honest with you, I wasn't really a fan of that fight, but Pantoja pulled it back in the main event. I'm going to put it... It's either at the top of mid or really solid. I'm going to put it in really solid. I think this is the opposite case of 305. 305 gets carried by its main card. 310, I think the prelims were actually really fucking good on 310, and the main card was just there were enough finishes. On here, 3 of the fights ended in finishes for it to be somewhat alright of a main card. Doo-Ho Choi beat the shit out of Nate Landwehr. Bryce Mitchell, blobbed Crone Gracie. Cyril Gan, Alexander Volkov had some moments, the spinning back fists. Shavkat and Ian Gary, honestly, pretty bad. I'll be honest. I wasn't huge. It was not a great fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was not a great fight. And then Alexandre beat Kaya Sakura. I think I'll put it in really solid. Let's move to the next card, which is going to be 297. The first card. The start of 2024. You get Dreykus, Sean Strickland. I looked this up, by the way. I could recite this entire thing, but Raquel Pennington, Mayra Bueno Silva, Neil Magny, Mike Malott, Chris Curtis, Marc-Andre Barrio, Movsar Evloev, Arnold Allen. Garrett Armfield, Brad Katona, Sean Woodson, Charles Jourdain, Ramon Tavares, Surrey City, Jillian Robertson, Polyana Viana, Sam Patterson, Johan Linnes, Jasmine Jasudavicius, Priscilla Cachoeira, Jimmy Flick, Malcolm Gordon. Quick finish, beat down, quick finish, beat down, quick finish somewhat. Decent fight, mid, actually like a bit above mid. Probably the second best fight in the card, mid until the finish, mid for 5 rounds. I'm putting this in alright. Just cause 5 rounds of Pennington Bueno Silva, I think would kill me. Like, even though I knew after the fact that I'd be able to watch Dricus Sean Strickland 1, which was a very competitive fight and very entertaining, I don't think I could sit through Raquel Pennington Mara Bueno Silva again, ever. And nor could I sit through Magny Malott or Chris Curtis, Marc-Andre Barrio, or Sean Woodson, Charles Jourdain, or like the finishes on the prelims, they remind me of like Vegas 106 in a way where they were like cool but uneventful. Like Jimmy Flick, Malcolm Gordon was like a kind of alright fight. Jasmine Jasuda, I thought that was the first round that he got that finish in. I guess not. Jasmine beat the shit out of Priscilla Cachoeira. Sam Patterson, quick finish. Like, it opened up with like 4 finishes in a row. And we were like, okay, alright. And then split decision, unanimous decision, split decision, unanimous decision, split decision, and then there's a Neil Magny, Mike Malott KO in there. I guess the Neil Magny was a holy shit moment, so I guess you could put it in mid. I wouldn't put it above 304. I'm going to put it in alright. I think it was an alright card. Let's move to UFC 302. I actually saw someone put this as like a top 5 pay-per-view from 2024, and I disagreed heavily. I think besides this main card, Randy Brown, Elizia Zaleski dos Santos was alright. Nico Price Morono was pretty shit. Kevin Holland got a quick finish over Michal Oleksiejczuk. Sean Strickland Paulo Costa was one of the worst 5-round co-main events I've had to sit through in my life. Islam versus Dustin was great. And then you had like some alright prelims. Roman Kopylov, Cesar Almeida was alright. Jailton Almeida, Romanov, quick finish. Grant Dawson, Joe Solecki was shit. Jake Matthews, Phil Rowe was alright. Basil Hafez, Mickey Gall was actually probably one of the better fights on the card. Eileen Perez, Jocelyn Edwards, one of the better fights on the card. And Andre Lima versus Mitchell Poe. So I love Andre Lima. Not a great fight. I'm putting this above 296. Or 297, excuse me. Because if I had to sit through Strickland or Costa or Bueno Silva Pennington again, I'd sit through Strickland Costa, unironically. I would. And I liked Makasha Poirier more than Strickland Duplessis, I'll be honest with you. Just because this one ended in a finish, and Poirier, it was like rooting for Poirier, you know what I mean? And also, I'll be honest with you, this 302 is kind of shit. I might actually put it below 297. But I don't think I can. Nico Price, Alex Marone on a main card of a pay-per-view is disgusting. But I said I wouldn't judge by name value. I just said I wouldn't do that. How many finishes were on here? Was it 3? 3, and they were all submissions. There wasn't really a holy shit moment either. I'm putting it below 297. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. A lot of these fights had a lot of boring, lulling moments. Not a fan. Let's move to 317. The card that just happened. I, of course, could name the entire main card of this, but I'm just going to scroll up to Tapology. Topuria Oliveira, Pantoja Kaikar France, Joshua Van Brandon Rival, Benil Dariush, Hanano Moicano, Peyton Talbot, Felipe Lima, Gregory Rodriguez, Jack Hermanson, Jose Delgado, Hyder Mill, Tracy Cortez, Viviani Araujo, Terrence McKinney, Vyacheslav Borshev, Jacoby Smith, Nico Price, Janata Diniz versus Alvin Hines. I'm going to put this. It's definitely both of these. I'm going to put it probably up here. Is it above 298? I'm going to put it above 298 as well. I think entertainment value-wise, you had some crazy fights on here. Janata Deniz, Alvin Hines was actually good to watch. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually really enjoyed that fight. Jacoby Smith, Nico Price. It didn't last. I think it lasted longer than everyone thought it would, but at least it ended in a finish. Terrence McKinney beat he subbed Vishlev early. Tracy Cortez, Viviani Araujo. Bit of a low point, but domination from Tracy Cortez. Quick finish, Jose Delgado. Relatively quick finish, Gregory Rodriguez. Slumped Jack Hermanson out cold. Fucking flatlined him. Talbot Lima was alright. It was alright. Benil Dariush and Adam Moicano was alright. It was good to watch for me because I'm a Benil Dariush fan. Joshua Van, Brandon Royval put on Fight of the Year. We just have to admit that. That was Fight of the Year, basically. Pantoja Kaikar France, domination, entertaining grappling as well. That's hard to do. Ilya Topuria, Charles Oliveira. Flatline Charles Oliveira. It's above 298. I don't give a shit. And in the first round. A bit anticlimactic of a main event, I'll be honest with you. I was kind of sad that it ended as quick as it did. But dude, seeing Oliveira out cold, seeing Kaikar France get choked out. Joshua Van, Brandon Royval was a fucking war. Jack Hermanson is still unconscious. Hyder Emil got fucking beat. Let's go. McKinney, quick finish. We love seeing Terrence McKinney win. Who here loves Terrence McKinney? Me. I'm raising my hand because I'm the only opinion here that matters. I'm putting it above 298. It could have been a certified hood classic. I wish that there was another really good fight on there. I wish that maybe the Costa Kopylov fight stayed on 217. Because I think that fight's going to be really good, and maybe that would have elevated it a little bit, and we wouldn't have had Peyton Talbot, Felipe Lima on the main card. It would have been on the prelims, maybe the feature prelim. But, yeah. Pretty good card. Let's move to UFC 303, the other international fight week on this tier list. Probably going to move it down preemptively. Peja Prohaska, badass main event, quick finish. Lopez Dan Ige is an alright fight. Delidze Smith, alright. Chasson Mayra Silva, unironically, is better than Roman Delidze. Ian Gary, Michael Menden Page, not a great fight. I was not a fan of it, to be honest with you. Pfeiffer, Marc-Andre Barrio, disgusting finish. Feely, Cub Swanson, actually solid fight. John Silva, knockout over Charles Jourdain. Payne Talbot, knockout over Giannis Kimuri. Jillian Robertson beat the shit out of Michelle Waterson Gomez. Martin Budai. Andrei Arlovsky, the worst fight of the year, honestly, last year. Ray Cerrulla, Carlos Hernandez, alright fight. Vinicius Oliveira, I think it's definitely above 304. 304. Is it above 305, though? Main card-wise, I'd say no. Main card-wise of 303, I thought Ian Gary, Michael Menden Page was shit. I thought Roman Delidze, Anthony Smith was kind of shit. Diego Lopez, Dan Ige was alright. Macy Chasson, Mayra Bueno Silva, unironically, might have been the second or third best fight on that main card. And Peja Prohaska was quick. Prelims, Joe slimed out Marc-Andre. Andre Philly and Cub Swanson kind of went to war. John Silva got a finish. Payne Talbot got a finish. But, Martin Budai, Andrei Arlovsky was kind of slow. Ray Cerrulla, Carlos Hernandez, even though it was, decent grappling, it was kind of slow. Vinicius beat the shit out of Ricky Simon. I love that fight. Is it above? I'll put it above 305. I'll put it above 305. Look at this. 303, 304, 305. Let's move to the next pay-per-view. 301. Oh, God. 301. Unironically, might be above all of those, because I actually really enjoyed 301. Alessandro Costa, Kevin Borjas, finish. Ishmael Bonfim, Vink Pichel was alright. Dion Barbosa, Ernesto Carrasqueta was alright. Rufy's debut over Jamie Malarkey. Jakar Close, Joaquin Silva was Mukhtar Gorobay, Elvis Brenner was sick. Yasmin Lucinda, Karolina Kovacevic was mid. Joanna Shimbrito, Jack Shore was pretty good. Kyle Bahalio, Paul Craig, finish. Michelle Patera, quick finish. Anthony Smith, Vitor Petrino, quick finish. Jose Aldo returns against Jonathan Martinez was a decent fight. Pantoja Urseg was a war. I actually think this is above all of these. Entertainment-wise, I really liked 301. I'm going to be honest with you. Even some of the decisions I actually enjoyed. Like, Dion Barboza or Nesta Carrasqueta was low-key a war, guys. Ishmael Bonfim, Ving Pichel. I'll put it, I think it's above 303. I thought the main card of 301 was really entertaining. Bohalio finish, Michel Peja quick finish, Anthony Smith quick finish. Oh shit, I fucking scrolled up too far. There we go. I'm gonna put it above 303. I still think overall, I think it's kind of a mid card. Just because we didn't have a ton of what the fuck moments, but I'll put it above all of these though. Let's move to UFC 312. Oh Jesus fucking Christ. 312. This is gonna be a bit of a longer video. Maybe not. Dreykus, Sean Strickland, Wei Li Zhang, Tatiana Suarez, Taliesin Teixeira, Justin Tafa, Jimmy Crute, Adolfo Bellato, Jake Matthews, Francisco Prado, Gabriel Santos, Jack Jenkins, Tom Nolan, Vyacheslav Borishev, Wong Tong, Bruno Brazil, Alexandre Taporia, Colby Thickness, Rongju, Cody Steele, Jonathan McCaleb, Kevin Gisset, Killen Southkild, and Shul Jubilee. Again, I kind of enjoyed 312. But it's above these. It's above these. Entertainment-wise, I actually really enjoyed 312. Is it above 301, though? Quick finish. Banger fight. Alright fight. Alright fight. Alright fight. Badass fight. Ended in a finish. Mid. Quick finish. Mid for 5 rounds. Alright for 5 rounds. Decent fight for 5 rounds. I'm going to keep it in mid. It's not above 301 in my opinion. It's 5 rounds of Whaley and Suarez really puts me off of 312. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's move to UFC 306. UFC 306. UFC 306 is a weird one because it gets dragged down a lot by the main card. Be honest with you. The main event and co-main event, excuse me. Going with the card, Raul Rosas Jr., Richie Lang was alright. Joshua Ban, Edgar Shirez, one of the best fights of the year. Ketlin Souza, Yasmin Hirogi, quick finish. Ignacio Manuel Torres, quick finish. Norma Dumont, Irene Aldana, alright fight. Worst cut I've ever seen in my life. Ronaldo Rodriguez, Ode Osborne, pretty sick. Esteban Ribovics, Daniel Zellhuber, pretty sick. Diego Lopez, Brian Ortega, pretty sick. Like, it's above all of these. Could I? Dude, that Grasso-Shevchenko 3 fight was so fucking bad. I think that I could sit through Esteban Ribovics. I could sit through Shevchenko Grasso if it meant that I had to sit through Diego Lopez, Brian Ortega, Esteban Ribovics, Daniel Zellhuber, Ronaldo Rodriguez, Ode Osborne, Norma Jamal, Irene Aldana, and all the other fights. Like Joshua Van, a lot of really solid fights on here. And there was only, 10? 10 fights on here? So it's not actually that long. UFC 306, I'll put it at the top of. I'll put it at bottom of really solid. The main and co-main were kind of bad, which is like the whole point of a pay-per-view. I get that, but like, dude, the rest of the fights on there were actually really good. Besides, like maybe Raul and Norma, those were kind of all right. But let's move to UFC 309. I think I can name the entire main card to that. John, Stipe, Charles, Michael. I already hit a fucking wall, dude. 309 was very forgetful. I don't really remember it all that much. Because Jonathan Martinez, Marcus McGee wasn't on the main card, was it? Bo Nickel, Paul Craig, Viviane, Carini, Silva, Rufy, on top. I should have remembered that. Marcus McGee, Jonathan Martinez, Jim Miller, Damon Jackson. Alright, how many fights are on here? 12. Jones, Miocic, finish. Oliveira, Chandler was pretty good. Bo Nickel, Paul Craig was shit. Araujo Silva was Rufi Yontop, excuse me, was pretty good. Marcus McGee, Jonathan Martinez was all right. Like, Marcus McGee just did more in the first two and almost got finished in the third. Jim Miller, Damon Jackson, quick finish. Onama Roberto Romero was pretty sick for the first 2 rounds. Round 3 was kind of slower. Tybura Deniz, fraud check of the century. Ramiz Brahimaj, quick finish. Oban Elliott, war with Basil Hafez finish. Eduardo Moira, Veronica Hardy just used her size. I didn't really enjoy 309. Jones Miocic was kind of boring for the most part until he got the finish. And the Osotogari trip in the first round was cool. Sitting through Bo Nickel, Paul Craig, Araujo Silva, fucking Eduardo Moira, Veronica Hardy again. Yuck. That's pretty gross. I'll put it like here. Maybe below 303. Not a great card. Not a great card at all. UFC 300. This is the top of Certified Hit Classic. Nothing comes close. 300 was one of the literally the best card I've ever had the pleasure to witness. Peja Hill, Zhang Xiaonan, Holloway Gaethje, Sarukian Oliveira, Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage, yuck. Yuri Prohaska, Rakic, Sterling Cater, Harrison Holm, Lopez Yusuf, Moicano Turner, Andrade Rodriguez, Bobby Green, Jim Miller, Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. What are we doing? And most of those, there was only a couple not great fights on there. Andrade Rodriguez was kind of slower. Sterling Cater was slow. Zhang versus Yan was like, it was slower, but there were some moments. You know what I mean? Holloway Gaethje, Peja Hill, fucking Prohaska Rakic, fucking Lopez, Sadiq Yusuf, Moicano Turner, Bobby Green, Jim Miller, Davis Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. Like, those all kind of, like, superseded. You know what I mean? Like, those fights were nuts. 300 was the best card of the year, hands down. We move. Of the past fucking, 20 events. UFC 307. There's a lot of recent ones that I haven't covered. I'll cover 307 later. Let's cover 316 right now. 316. Just wrapped up earlier in June. 316. Let me, Merab O'Malley 2, Harrison Pena, Piper Gastelum, Batista Mix, Holland Luque, Van Bruno Silva, Azamat Murzakanov, Waldo Cortez Acosta, Andreas Gustafsson, Wong Tong, Juseng Yu, Killen, Markel Medeiros. I think this is, again, kind of a really solid I'll put it at least this time the main event ended in a finish. This fight ended in a finish very early as well. The main card as well, Joe Piper, Kelvin Gastelum was pretty cool in round 1. Round 2 was kind of slower. Round 3 was, pretty good again. Bautista Mix, a beatdown. Holland looked good again. Joshua Van, masterclass. Murzakanov, Brendan Ribeiro, quick finish. Cortez Acosta, Sergey Spivak was all right. Gustafson Williams was all right. Wong Tong, Ariane Lipsky de Silva, all right. Juseng Yu, flatline KO, Killen Sal, Kildin Alash moves. Pretty all right, pretty good. I actually like that. Markel Medeiros, Mark Chewinski was pretty good as well. Do I put it above 310 though? Is the thing. I think it's less of a card to sit through as well. I enjoyed the main event and co-main event of this more than this, I'll be honest. And I thought the main card was a bit better on 316. I thought 316 was actually pretty good, I'll be honest with you. I thought 316 was actually pretty good. Let's grab 315. 315, the pay-per-view prior in Canada. Bilal Muhammad, Jack Della Maddalena, Shevchenko, Fior, Zahabi, Jose Aldo, Natalia Silva, Alexa Grasso, Benoit Saint-Denis, Kyle Prepelec, Mike Malott, Charles Radke, Jasmine Jezidovicius, Jessica Andrade, Bukowskis, Kutelaba, Sterling Erslan. I think it's above these, I'll be honest with you. I think Bilal and Jack was such a good fight. It kind of supersedes all these. And I actually really enjoyed. I'll put it above. Dude, that again, it's like Shevchenko Fior fucking drags it down, in my opinion. I hated those. Dude, Shevchenko is shit. I hate her so. I'm joking, but she's not that entertaining to watch, man. She just isn't. But like Della Maddalena Muhammad, Natalia Silva, Alexa Grasso was kind of slower too. Quick finish, pretty sick fight. Quick finish, all right fight. Beat down, crazy knockout from Mike Malott. Beat down, kind of mid, pretty all right. Mid as can be, insane. I'm just going up the card. I think it's above. I'll put it at the top of mid. Let's grab UFC 308. This could be a certified hood classic, I'm going to be honest with you. 308 was sick. Topuria Holloway, badass. Chimaev Whitaker, badass. Ankalaev Rakic was alright. Murphy, Dan Ige, alright. Shar Magomedov, Armor Trojan was pretty sick. Ibo Aslan, quick finish. Jeff Neal, RDA, quick finish. Rombetsky, Magdalena fight of the year. Abus Magomedov, Bruno Ferreira was a sick fight. Kennedy Nzechukwu, beat down. Farid, Victor Hugo was alright. Ishmael Nardia, Bruno Silva, style. Yeah, I think it's above. That main card was insane. Like, even though there was some lower action, and at least Magomed was trying to do some shit. And Lerone Murphy, Danny Ige had some crazy moments as well. There was a lot of blood. I'll put it. It's either top or really solid or bottom of certified classic, in my opinion. But like, dude, Ilya Topuria, Max Holloway, Chimaev Whitaker, Shara Arman, Mateusz Rombetsky, Muktabek Orobai, Abus, Bruno Ferreira. You know what I mean? Like, those are some pretty sick fucking fights. Alright. There we go. I'll keep it there. It's at the bottom of certified classic. 314. 314, what are we thinking about? Volkanovski Lopez. Pimblett, Chandler, Rodriguez, Pitbull, John Silva, Bryce Mitchell, Dominic Reyes, Nikita Krylov, Danny Ige, Sean Woodson, Berna Janjadova, Jan Janan, Hooper, Miller, Julian Arosa, Darren Elkins, Michal Alexeychuk, Striga Dumas, Sumer Duershi, Mitch Poso, Marco Tulio. I think this is a really solid card. I'd put it one below 317. How many fights were on 314? 13, so 2 more. Volk Lopez was sick. Pimblett Chandler was pretty good. Rodriguez Pitbull was kind of uneventful until round 3. John Silva, Bryce Mitchell. They had a lot of heat going into it. I might put it above. 314 could be the bottom of Certified Hood Classic. Fuck it, I'll put it. I really enjoyed fucking 314. 313. 10 fights. How long is the video so far? 43 minutes. Holy shit. I'm fucking yapping. Hey Ankalaev, Gaethje Fiziev, Bahamondes, Jalen Turner, Lemos, Lucinda, Rufy Green, Van Saruya. That wasn't even that great of a fight. Vahea Petrosian, Leal Morono. Rufy highlight reel KO. Leal masterclass. Vahea Arman was a cool fight. Bahamondes, Jalen Turner, Gaethje Fiziev. The Lemos and Lucinda and Ankh Pahea fights were not really that good. I'll put it here. I'll put it in mid. 307. 307. What are we dealing with? Pahea Roundtree. Oh, Pennington Pena. Bautista Aldo. Delidze Holland. Caitlin Vieira. Joaquim. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yasmin Lucinda. Why is Yasmin Lucinda on every fucking pay-per-view? Hernandez, Hubbard. Almeida, Peteria. Span, OSP. Tisha Pennington. This is mid as well. The main event carried hard. I'll put it there. I'll leave it there. I think that's a good spot. I'm going to drag this down. I don't think that certified and classic and really solid should have the same amount. It's like borderline. It's like in between. It's like right here. I think it's the top. All right. That's my rankings of every pay-per-view since 2024. I will continue to add to this as pay-per-views happen. Maybe I'll show where I put them in my recap video, give kind of an explanation as why I feel that way as well. Where would you guys rate these pay-per-views? Do you guys agree with me? What do you guys think? If you like the video, give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. Leave a comment down below what you guys want to see next. I will see you guys in the next video, which might be my UFC Nashville picks and breakdown. I don't know, depending on what we're doing. All right. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.